Hi guys, welcome to the channel. In this video you're going to learn how to do part 1 of the preliminary B1 speaking exam, also known as PET. If you do find the video helpful, please hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Let's get started. I want to start by telling you what to expect when you go into the exam room. You'll actually have two examiners, the interlocutor or the speaker, so that's the examiner who's going to talk to you, and then the silent examiner who will just sit and watch and they won't say anything. And then the two students sit in front. Let's call them Anna and Luis. Now, the person on the left of the interlocutor, so that's Anna, will be asked the first question. So if you don't want to speak first, then it's a good idea to sit on the right of the examiner. So, speaking part 1. The interlocutor asks questions to each candidate in turn. So in this part of the exam, you're speaking to the examiner. You're not speaking to your partner. This part lasts about 2 minutes and has 2 phases. You have to respond to questions giving factual or personal information. This could be about your likes and dislikes, daily routines, things you do every day, future plans, or the recent past. So when you're preparing for this exam, it's a good idea to review the tenses that you would use to talk about these things. So likes and dislikes, daily routines, you would use the present simple tense. For the future, you could use will, going to, the present continuous, the first conditional perhaps, and the recent past, the past simple, maybe the past continuous as well. So in phase 1, the examiner will say, "Good morning," or afternoon, or evening, depending on the time of day. "Can I have your mark sheets, please?" Hand over your mark sheets to the examiner. Then the examiner will introduce themselves. So they'll say, "I'm," and "this is," so they'll introduce themselves and the silent examiner. In phase 1, just give short answers. Okay? The examiner will ask you, "What's your name?" Now, remember I said that the examiner will start with the candidate to their left. "My name's Anna." "Where do you live?" Or "Where do you come from?" "I live in Madrid." Thank you. Okay, so see the answer here. My name's Anna. I live in Madrid. Keep the answers short. Then the examiner will turn to the second candidate and ask the same questions. "What's your name?" "My name's Luis." "Where do you live?" "I come from Malaga, but I live in Seville." Thank you. Now the examiner will continue and ask Luis, "Luis, do you work or are you a student?" "I'm a student." "What do you study?" "I study history at the University of Seville." Thank you. So again, see we've got just short answers here, and then the examiner will ask the same questions to the other candidate. "Anna, do you work or are you a student?" "I work." "What do you do?" Notice this question, "What do you do?" This is very different to "What are you doing?" So when we ask this question, what we mean is, "What's your job?" I work as an IT consultant. Now, there's a couple of things to notice here. First of all, we say as. I work as, not I work like. Okay, so I work as a teacher, I work as a doctor, I work as an IT consultant. Or you could say, I'm an IT consultant. Now, notice that we use the article here, so we don't say, I'm IT consultant. Okay, so the article is necessary. I'm a teacher. Thank you. So that is phase 1. Now in phase 2, you have to respond to questions giving factual or personal information. This could be likes or dislikes, so as we've said before, daily routines, future plans, or the recent past. You will have to give a more detailed answer than in phase 1. You can prepare by practicing the verb tenses. And I'll show you how to do that in the rest of the video. We're going to look at lots of examples. So here are some example questions. How do you get to work, school, or university every day? What did you do yesterday or last weekend? Do you think that English will be useful for you in the future? Why or why not? Tell us about the people you live with. So these are some possible questions. These are all taken from the Teacher's Handbook, and I've included the link down below in the description, as well as the information for candidates. So imagine again our exam room. The examiner should start with the candidate on the left, so that's Anna, and they will either ask 1 or 2 questions per candidate. It depends on the length of the answer and how much time you have. But an example of how it would be done would be first question to Anna, then Luis, another question for Luis, and a final question for Anna. Or perhaps the examiner will go Anna, Luis, Anna, Luis. Okay, so it depends on the examiner and their preference, but the first question will go to Anna. Anna, how do you get to work every day? I go to work by car. So what do you think of this answer? Well, I can tell you it is too short. So remember, in phase 2, you need to give a longer answer. I go to work by car because my office is far away from my house. The public transport in my area isn't very good, so I never take the bus. Thank you. Now, notice here the verb tenses. Go, is, isn't, never take. So we've used the present simple here because we're answering a question about what we do every day, so our routine. So it's important to think about the correct verb tense. Luis, what did you do last weekend? I stayed at home. What do you think? Too short. So let's elaborate a bit. I stayed at home because the weather was bad. I watched some films with my family and spent some time studying. It was a quiet weekend. Thank you. Now here we're talking about the past. So you'll notice that in the choice of verb tense, stayed, watched, spent, was. Okay, so this is a good answer. Luis has used the appropriate tense. Luis, do you think that English will be useful for you in the future? Yes, I think so. Too short. Yes, I think so. I really like travelling, and it's easier if you can speak English. I'd like to go to London when I finish university. Also, I think I'll be able to get a better job in the future if I have a good level. Thank you. So here we're talking about the future. He says, I'd like to go. I'd like, this is I would like, and we use this to talk about things that we want to do in the future. Notice how it's followed by the infinitive. We say, I'd like to go, not I'd like going. I will be able to. What does will be able to mean? Will be able to is how you say can in the future. So now I can swim. In the future, I will be able to swim better, for example. If I have. So here we've got an example of the first conditional, if plus the present simple, plus will and the infinitive. I will be able to get a better job in the future if I have a good level. So it's a really good idea to study the first conditional so you can talk about the future in your exam. Now, if you need a little refresher on how to use the first conditional, I've provided the link to my first conditional tutorial down below in the description. Anna, tell us about the people you live with. I live with my husband. Too short, of course, so let's add some more information. I live with my husband. We have been married for 6 years and we have 2 children. Jaime is 4 and Alvaro is 1. We also have a pet dog, so we're very busy. Thank you. So, what tense do you think we need for this? I live. We have. Jaime is. Alvaro is. We also have. We are very busy. So we've used the present simple tense here for the most part because we're giving factual information about who we live with. But notice that we have also used the present perfect tense. We have been married. So we can use the present perfect tense when we want to talk about a situation that started in the past and is still true now. Okay, now you can find more information about all these verb tenses in my other videos, and I'll provide the links down below in the description. For more exam preparation videos, then take a look at my channel. And don't forget, if you do like the content, then please like and subscribe to see more. And why not head over to my website where you can find some useful exam guides and study aids to help you prepare. See you in the next video.